And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, over 80 show categories of consumer advocate content, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. We want to enlighten, educate, entertain, but most importantly, we want to engage you to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our consumer advocate hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
670-7372. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you at consumerqb.com. You can also engage us there with any questions, comments that you may have. Just click on the contact form, and once you click the submit button, it'll come directly to me like an email, and my promise is to get back to you before my head hits the pillow. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. Our official hotel partner, big shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites overlooking the intercoastal waterway. Got an awesome rooftop yoga on the weekends. The Castile restaurant has amazing food and a very friendly staff. The Hotel Zamora, let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% discount off of your room stay at the Hotel Zamora, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're back in studio here. We're going to go around the horn now, make our introductions. Jason Avery back in studio. Avery Construction and author of Constructing Success as well. Welcome back in, sir.
How you doing, Brandon? It's good to be here.
Yeah.
So, exciting stuff going on. Avery Construction has ventured into a bit of a partnership and opening a custom cabinet manufacturing plant over in Clearwater, 6,000 square feet, and a special style of frameless European cabinets. We'll talk more about and kind of educate consumers about cabinet construction and quality. And as I'm building out the shop, I'm reminding myself of a lot of the concepts in my book, Constructing Success. It's all about the customer's experience. And once again, I'm now the customer in my own shop as I'm dealing with tradesmen and contractors who are helping me get this thing set up and put together. So definitely we'll talk to people about what to expect when you're under remodel.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that stuff. And Jason Avery, a great networker in the Tampa Bay market as well. And also first time in studio, Melissa Allen with Cobblestone Court Incorporated and Elegant Plumbing, Decorative Hardware, and more. Welcome in.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
My pleasure.
And hopefully we can talk about the constant changes in plumbing and hardware when it comes to our displays. We're always putting up new displays and getting new partnerships. I was lucky enough to go to London last year, and for a manufacturer that we now have our whole back wall is Crosswater of London, and it's beautiful stuff. Stop by and see it someday. But we're always getting new stuff, so
awesome.
come in anytime.
Yeah, love it. And rounding out our real estate roundtable discussion today is Mr. Chuck Peterson with Suncoast Roofing. Welcome back in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, glad to be back.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to talk a little bit about today just what it is to, our roofing business is a full service business, and just we'll pick a couple little topics to talk about, warranty topics, and being master elite dealers for GAF, which brings us at the top of the market for quality and, for the consumer.
Yeah, that's awesome. And last year I was shocked, or last time you were on the show, I was shocked to hear the 50-year warranty. I mean, that's amazing. Some of the warranties have changed since I've last looked into that. And of course, we're in the process of building a home, so there's a lot of new information as well. And we're definitely going to dive deep in that. Real estate roundtable discussion here for you today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to educate and entertain, enlighten. We want to engage you as well. So please, if anything you hear today on the show, we would love to hear from you on our hotline. And as you know, I'm a published author and a professional speaker. We've got a couple books on Amazon. We'd love to, help you with your business as well, either consulting-wise. But check out the books on Amazon. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves. Teach you how to start your own show, start a podcast, and grow your business through that strategy, harnessing the power of the media. And also, we want to start with a little bit of personal development, as we do. Peyton Manning there helping us with that audible. And so today we're talking about the 6 P's. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So if you think about any type of a goal that you have or an event that you have coming up, you want to make sure you make a list at least the night before, maybe several days or weeks ahead of time, depending on the size and scale. And that's the way your subconscious mind is going to work, is you're going to allow your subconscious mind to start pooling those resources, to start putting those different aspects into position to help you win. And also what you're going to do is you're going to generate a positive and progressive ideas, and it's going to energize and release endorphins. And once you get that going, you're going to have momentum. You're going to develop momentum. A lot of people say that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, is because they're developing momentum either in a positive way or a negative way. And you're going to develop the 10-strobe-90 rule, as my friend Brian Tracy talks about, one of my mentors, is the first 10% of the time. You ever have this task that you think about and you think, wow, man, it sounds nice. I want to write that book. I want to start that business. But it's just such a big task in your mind that you just put it off and you procrastinate. But if you take just 10%, just spend the first 10% of the time on planning in itself, you're going to be able to spend less time on the overall task. So this time spent on the planning is going to save you up to 90% of getting the job done. And the rule is you want to think on paper. Write it down. Get it out of your head. Get it onto paper. Activate the law of attraction in your life. And action items is to make the list. And a lot of times you can use mobile devices to do that as well. Prioritize by analyzing the severity of the consequences if you don't get it done. So there's your 2-minute drill from the Quarterback Show here, helping you win in any marketplace. Let's go ahead and jump into this great content. Back in studio, Jason Avery, Avery Construction. What are you seeing out there?
Well, again, in the Clearwater area, we're in the midst of opening up a 6,000 square foot custom cabinet manufacturing facility, which is really cool. Avery Construction's always done custom cabinets for the consumer in the home, but I tell you, the selection of cabinets that people have to choose from out there is, not that great. So we're actually opening this facility to cater to other contractors and other interior designers in town to offer them a better option. The thing that people really need to understand about cabinets is that most of the cabinets are coming from overseas, China, or maybe from northern states. Georgia puts out a lot of cabinets. But these cabinets are often being built as a cheaper pressboard box, and when you put a pressboard box together, it won't hold up the weight of a natural wood door, and that's the look that everybody wants these days. So they put a frame on the front of that box. It's called a face frame cabinet, and that frame is the only wood part on there, which is designed to now hold up those doors. So the challenge is that the frame starts cutting into all the sides and the edges. You got center posts. You just have a bunch of wasted space. It now makes all your drawers a little narrower, a little shorter, less deep. And so you really sacrifice a lot by getting this cheaper made box. And the box itself is really less than 1/3 of the cost of the total cabinet. The door was the expensive part to begin with, based on the style and the color that you were trying to pick. And then we have another problem. We have these upgrade options where they're trying to sell you an all-wood cabinet, but what they're not telling you is that the wood they're using is only 3/8 of an inch thick. And when the wood is too thin, that doesn't alleviate the need for that face frame to hold up the doors. You still have to have it.
Let me ask you, too, about that press wood. Can you explain to the listeners, because that, from what I gather, it's just a bunch of leftover almost sawdust that they press together, right?
Exactly. It's basically adhesives holding together sawdust with some laminate on either side of it. And
wow.
So, again, they can look really pretty on the outside, but if they're built really junky, and then you want to put a heavy weight granite or marble countertop on it, the long-term expectancy for these cabinets is not looking very good. They are going to start falling apart on you. And then again, when you go into that all wood cabinet and that they use the 3/8 plywood in, it really you're paying a lot and not getting the benefit. So the whole idea of cabinet manufacturing for us is about a frameless European style cabinet, which is made out of 3/4 inch wood. You don't need anything special to hold up the doors. You can mount them right to the box. No posts, no wasted space. Everything gets bigger.
Yeah, that's neat, man. You look at the different quality construction. Sometimes I drive by and you'll see how they're putting up these new apartments. A lot of apartment buildings going up, and you look at that second floor. A lot of times it's the press board, is developed by some of these builders that go in there and just slap as many as up as they can. Very subpar product.
You ever seen what that stuff looks like after it gets wet?
Right, exactly.
It swells right up and falls right apart.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So Jason Avery Construction, also author of Constructing Success, the blueprint for a referral-based business. And coming up as well, we're going to talk with Melissa Allen, Cobblestone Court Incorporated, and it's decorative hardware, elegant plumbing and fixtures for baths and kitchens, as well as Chuck Peterson with Suncoast Roofing, expert contributor in the roofing space, statewide company, and doing a lot of roofs out there. And stay with us. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty is our premium sponsor as well with the Quarterback Show. I got to give a big shout out to my friend Steve Gunnan as well with Replenish IV Solutions, restore, reinvigorate, and revive. And he comes over and he helped me. I had a headache. I was fighting a headache for the last 2 or 3 days. I felt like I was coming down with a cold, wasn't sleeping very well. Came over and gave me a vitamin pack, Myers cocktail vitamin pack IV. And I tell you what, it instantly put a little something special in there for me to get rid of the headache as well. And woke up feeling great this morning. So big shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, and that's a partner of the Quarterback Show here. All types of different vitamin infused drips that they can do. The fatigue fighter, you got a weight loss, you got a detoxification, chelation therapy, ozone therapy, all types of different IV solutions that they can help you with. Conveniently located at Opus Health down on Channelside Drive in South Tampa. Say hello to Replenish IV Solutions for me, and they do a great job for us. So we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida. I got a hot listing I want to let you know about if you're in the market in the 604 zip code, 33604 in Tampa, 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. This is a beautiful property in the Harmony Heights, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, $269,000. Gorgeous remodel by my friend Roberto. Did a remodel on this beautiful pool home, over 2,300 square feet, and it looks like a model home on the inside. 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. A great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
Coming up, we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to improve the value of your home, and more from our expert contributors. We're going to be hearing from Melissa Allen, Chuck Peterson as well, Suncoast Roofing later in the show. Right now, we're talking with Jason Avery, Avery Construction Design and Consulting. So what else are you seeing out there, sir?
Well, just as you know, I wrote the book about 1.5 years ago, got a #1 bestseller, Constructing Success, the Blueprints for Referral-Based Business. And it's, not a book about construction so much as it is about how to communicate well with a client to make their experience better. And this could apply to any industry, so that at the end of the experience, they have a great story to tell and they want to refer you to their friends and their family. And also we're building that business off of those referrals. But I'll tell you, building out this cabinet shop, getting it ready to go, I'm now the customer again. So it's amazing how I'm reliving a lot of the things that I've written about in the book and how uncomfortable it is to be a customer when the contractors don't give you enough detail in the contract. And then you're finding out after the fact that that's going to be a change order. Things like that, things that we've prided ourselves in at Avery Construction for, overwhelming people with detail sometimes, but being very clear about what is or what isn't included. And so that's something you definitely need to pay attention to in a renovation, is knowing, don't let the contract be vague, and make sure it spells everything out. And don't let them tell you they're selling you the fire suppression system package. I need the detail that it includes the alarm and the tanks and every little piece that comes along with that. And so, interesting being the client once again during a remodel, and definitely you want to take care of the customer's experience. A lot of that comes down to communicating and having professionals, at every turn ready to, assist them. I'm so happy we have Melissa Allen here in the studio with us today. Cobblestone Court, man, we've had a partnership between Avery Construction and Cobblestone for, going on 6 years now, where we drive, the majority of our clients over there to see her for all the decorative plumbing parts and hardware. And it just, for me, it's such an element of time savings, because I know they're going to be received well and in good hands when they get over there. They're not dealing with that big box store anymore. It's the family-owned environment where they genuinely care, about how this might look in your home and that it's going to fit just right on the first try. So, I'm so glad that we have her here. Thanks, Melissa, for what you've done for us and all our customers.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you sending your customers to us and trusting us enough. My mom is my business partner. We bought the business back in '97. And we're the third owners, so it's over 40 years, over 20 years, my mom and I. And we do have Alicia, who we couldn't do it without. She works the front of the office, and we like to train our staff to know everything. I've been out to California and made my own faucet. I've been to tub school. I've been to door hardware school. We know our stuff, or we like to think that we're the experts in the area, and we love helping Jason's customers because they come in and they know the quality that you can get in our store that you won't find at a big box store.
Where are you located?
We're in Clearwater,
Yep.
just on US 19 between Coachman and Sunset Point Road. We have a 6,000 square foot showroom to come look around. We like to say that we're the jewelry for your home. We can help you with just about everything you want: kitchens, faucets, cabinet knobs, door hardware, even the kitchen sink.
Who's picking out? So since it's the jewelry, you framed it that way. Who do you see picking out? Is that more the female version or the male version of the decision maker picking that out?
Usually it takes 3 trips to
Okay.
get what you like, and you'll see the
Yeah.
wife in first,
Yeah.
and then we do have a borrow program, so if you can't get the husband in, you can take some of the cabinet knobs home to show them.
Awesome.
There you go.
Like
But
the way
they
we're
do wanna
working now.
Yeah.
They do want to have an opinion before they hand over the credit card, so
Yeah.
it's amazing. Some of the men get more excited about the toilet that opens on its own and pre-cleans itself.
Oh,
and
yes.
all that
Nice.
good stuff.
We've installed a couple of those. They've got runway lights. They've got a warmer, and they will clean
Seat
you when
warmer.
the job's done. You know, it's pretty
seen
impressive equipment she's got.
Getting a little technical there.
I
We
saw
have
that
one
movie.
working.
That was a hilarious movie too. I guess I think the name of it was Why Him. It's out in California, and it has a lot about the seats there, the toilets and whatnot. But if you just joined us, I'm your host Brandon Rhymes here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Melissa Allen, Cobblestone Court Incorporated, also Jason Avery Construction, and we've got Chuck Peterson in studio as well, Chuck Suncoast Roofing. And so, Melissa, I love what we've echoed here as well, as we have local-owned, local businesses here, and I really stress that on the show to our listeners, our viewers of our TV show on WeBeam TV, is, work with local companies. They're going to contribute here locally to the local charities, the nonprofits, and giving back into our local economy. So I love that part of it.
Definitely. And we keep records going back to when we bought the business. So if you come back and your latch is sticking, we can go back and get you that replacement. You don't have to keep your paperwork. We do that for you. And we are your go-between between the manufacturers. You're not going to, if you call me with a problem, I'm not going to say, here's the phone number for the manufacturer. Give them a call. We'll take care of that for you.
Right.
Brandon, I think something she's touched on here about the box stores, and a lot of my customers are confused at first because the thing they see on the shelf at the box store looks the same. It looks like it's just as pretty as the one they found online, and the challenge in both those scenarios is the box store has genuinely bought down the rate of the parts by having some of the guts replaced with plastic, and where they should be made of brass. And so you'll find that while it looks pretty, a year or two later it starts leaking, and that's very frustrating once you've paid for a big remodel. Additionally, it's those ones that you order online. It never fails. Every time I open the box, there's a piece missing, and then you can't get a hold of anybody on the phone overseas trying to get that replacement part. And I love having the local store where I can walk down there and see Melissa at any time, and she's got my hookup.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great point. So inferior products, a lot of times, if you look at the initial, it's like, okay, well, I'm walking into the big box store, it looks like it's pretty much the same, but on the inside, are you seeing a lot of that as well, Melissa, with
Definitely.
subpar parts, the plastic, as Jason mentioned, on the inside?
The guts are what's important. You want to have ceramic discs. When you turn your faucet on and off, it's sharpening each time you turn it on and off. It's not going to start sticking over time with the plastic. As well as door hardware, a 28-degree latch. You barely touch it, especially as we age. Our hands don't work as well as they used to.
Right.
And so you don't want to have to fully go all the way down to press and open a door. Little things like that.
And then cool technology too. She's got hanging on her showroom wall right now a mirror, and that it looks like a mirror, and then you can also flip the switch and make it look like a TV.
Oh,
and,
that's cool. I like
really
that.
neat
We
stuff.
have that working. It was great during the basketball tournament recently.
Yeah, that's really neat.
And
Yeah.
it's the men get stopped.
So you turn it on for the guys; they're checking it out.
Yep. We have
That's really
CBS
neat.
All Access now, so we can watch
Wow.
anything.
That's really neat. Yeah, Jarrett Nichols has been on the show, and he talks about some of the electronics and the different advances in that space and the virtual reality and that area. There's a lot of cool things happening in technology. And so where do you see the industry going? Are you seeing technology advances on a daily basis or monthly?
Technology definitely advancing, but colors, finishes, I'm seeing brass and satin brass and bronze finishes really coming back. Polished nickel is overtaking satin nickel. People like that bling look.
Yep.
There's lots of things constantly changing. The electronic keypads for your door so that you don't have to carry a key fob. I have one company that, just like you unlock your car, you can unlock your house that way too now. It also keeps records of who's come in, so you can give a different code to the cleaning lady or your mother-in-law,
Right.
so that you know when
I like
they're
that.
in your house.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I like that.
Kids, you know when they left and came back.
Yeah, that's right. And you got cameras all over the place now. And
Right.
Yeah, so we want you to think of this show as the hub of your finance, your business, your health will. Each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our on-air expert contributors who take the time out of their schedule. They come in to be a consumer advocate on the show, helping you understand these decisions, helping you live a better life, and answering some of those questions that you may not even consider, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to improve the value of your home. And we're also going to bring in Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, as well, and talk about some of the different concerns when it comes to roofing and protecting your home from these beautiful sun rays that we have out here in Florida. So you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. Big shout out to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner. Say hello to Todd and his team down at Hula Bay, 5210 Tyson Avenue in beautiful South Tampa, Florida here. Waterfront ambiance, excellent food. The sushi is shipped in fresh from Hawaii. Every 2 days it comes in via boat from Hawaii every 2 days, and it's an awesome restaurant. If you haven't been down there, you got to check it out. Wide variety on the menu and some great food. Excellent staff. Also on the weekends, they've got Duke's Surfer Bar down below. Some great music. A lot of times you got the reggae music, tropical feel, Freedom Boat Clubs down there. Great place to go on the weekends. Check out Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And got a hot listing I want to let you know about here in Pinellas County. That's 7657 132nd Way in Seminole. $420,000. Great opportunity here. 4-bedroom, 3-bath property with a beautiful pool. It's a great opportunity here at $427,000, as well as a prime piece of land to develop here and to build on. And it's in a gated community, Chateau de Laux, and it's Rue de Laux, Rue de Laux, Tarpon Springs, 34688, $299,000 for a 1.13 acre lot here. And if you build a 2-story home, you're going to be looking at a nice view from the second floor of the beautiful Lake Tarpon in Pinellas County there. Great opportunity.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Coming up, we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to improve the value of your home. And right now, we're going to be going back to Melissa Allen, Cobblestone Court Incorporated, elegant plumbing and decorative hardware, fixtures for baths and kitchens. Also in studio, Jason Avery, Constructing Success. He's an author, bestseller as well, Constructing Success and Avery Construction. And we're going to bring in Chuck Peterson as well, Suncoast Roofing. So, Melissa, what else are you seeing out there in the space?
Well, there's some little things you can do just to jazz up your home a little bit. And if you are on Instagram, I do try to post constantly new trends that are up there and new products we get. So Cobblestone CT, that's our Instagram account, Cobblestone CT. And one thing that's super easy is a shower drain. You can just give me, if you have a circle or square, the center to center in the holes, and they have octopus, they have starfish, they have all sorts of fun shower drains that just make you a little happier to take your shower. Another thing is switch plates. You know, if you go in your, everyone has to turn on and off the light switch in your bathroom or your, right when they walk in your house. You want to upgrade those from the plastic ones that came with the house to make it feel like a home, make it feel yours. And, they always say the front door is the handshake of any building. So your front door hardware has to look nice, and we have very decorative doorbells that are in the shape of palm trees and all sorts of fun doorbells for you to make it just a little bit exciting when you walk up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Brandon, I just can't help but think about Sarah Shirelli right now, and our interior designer contributor. She's people like her in that profession of interior design. They're like kids in a candy store when they go into Melissa's place. Just so many options. I mean, you can get lost in that store for hours. So, interior designer. She even has special programs for them. So if they're going to come in on a regular basis to pick out things for their various projects, she takes good care of designers and contractors.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like to hear that stuff, and looking at the different trends. That's the other side of it. I'm sure you act almost as a consultant in terms of, hey, here's what's trending, here's what you want to stay away from, and what works with the style of the home that you've constructed. Maybe Jason's done a remodel job that has a certain it lends itself better to a certain style than others.
I hear a lot from people these days. They're always asking me, concerned about the water restrictors that they put in faucets and shower heads and things these days. But actually, a lot of the stuff that Melissa has down there these days are actually air injected. So, it feels like there's more pressure coming out of it, even though you're wasting less water in the process.
Yeah, they're great. They're 3-part air, 2-part water. So it really feels stronger without taking out the restrictor that is by law inside of there. But a lot of people don't realize it's not the shower head that is the strong part, it's your valve. And if you have just a chintzy valve, you're going to be lucky to get 5 gallons per minute coming through that shower head. You have to have a good valve that'll allow more water to all your pieces and parts in your shower.
And what about this too? You think about, since we're talking about that aspect of a shower, is sometimes I look up and you see that it's some of the little spigots or the little pieces are clogged, and it's not pushing out water through some of those. Is that due to our water, the calcium in the water?
Well,
stuff like
that's
that.
again the shower head that you purchased. A lot of ours don't have any metal inside of there. It's rubber, so it'll just flake away. That lime
Right.
scale.
If you go like that, that's what I find is if you go like that,
But
it'll.
in
Should
the
just flake
cheaper,
away.
in the cheaper models, they do
Yeah.
build up calcium and get stuck up in there. And then
Right.
I had somebody call me out one time. They said this thing's whistling. It's whistling, and it was like you whistle on a blade of grass, and
Yeah.
it was the calcium rushing through that little hole,
Oh, wow.
and the air rushing through it, past the calcium. So
Interesting. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in Chuck Peterson now, Suncoast Roofing, and Suncoast over 12 years now, statewide, 3 offices throughout the state, Hillsborough, Cocoa, and New Smyrna Beach. And, yeah, man, so
Yeah.
How are things going in your space?
We're good. We got busy as we can be. Appreciate the time on the show today and being here with these guys because they do a lot of work local. We're talking about local just a minute ago, and I wanted to give a shout out to our Mary, our office manager in our Tampa office here. She's winning an award tomorrow night. She was the highest charity raising person in Pasco County.
Wow.
So she gets a state award tomorrow night over in Daytona Beach at the big charity function over there. So we're local. We try to, we're all across the state, but all the people that run our offices are local, and all the guys that you see on our jobs work for us. We don't have a lot of sub-out folks. They're all employees of Suncoast Roofing.
That's great. That's a big part, too. You think about the potential liability in some cases where the contractor subs things out. There's issues there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Jason can speak to that. You get the guys have subs on the job. You don't have a lot of control over that, and where we have complete control over time you talk to our sales guys to the time we get done with the job and the time the warranty takes effect. It's all Suncoast.
Let's talk about that warranty, too.
Okay.
I was very surprised last time you talked about the 50-year available,
Yep.
and you have to be in some cases with this and let's talk about this as well, the GAF Master Elite Installer.
All right, so as a GAF Master Elite Installer, you're in the top 2% of all installers for GAF, and they actually, here's the warranty book you can see here. That's the warranty book for 50 years.
Yep.
It's backed by GAF. The reason it's important for the consumer is we put the roof on. GAF actually inspects a percentage of our jobs every year that go under warranty. So as a consumer, you know that it's not just us saying we did a good job, and it's not the city or the county inspecting it saying it passed. It is actually somebody from GAF. They randomly pick jobs out of our category, out of our group, and they have guys go out there and look at them. So they looked at, we did a set of condos in St. Pete Beach, and they were over there last month looking at our jobs, and we got 12s across the board, which is the highest you can get for every job they were on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so the consumer knows, hey, it's not just us looking at it, it's them. And GAF backs this warranty, so it's good for 50 years. It's good for 25 years non-prorated labor and materials. If we put the roof on wrong, if the roof material disintegrates or comes apart or does anything, 25 years, they cover the whole boat. And for the 25 years after that, if the material comes apart, GAF backs it.
Yeah, that's
it's the best in the industry.
that is a huge warranty, Brandon, as they go in this industry.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, I've over the years had my experience with a number of different roofers, and I'll tell you, a good roofer's hard to find. So you've got a good one here and now that warranty is top of the line.
Yeah, it's awesome, and we always talk about solar as well. We talk about trends, where are things going, and what do you see happening?
Yeah, I mean the technology, you don't get to see a lot of technology in a roof shingle because it just looks the same from the outside no matter what, kind of like the products that Melissa has. But the technology in a Florida shingle is far surpassed anything other than Texas and California have the same codes we have. But for a consumer, they look the same. But that's why we get a 50-year warranty. But the technology that's coming, we were talking a little bit off radio, is the solar roof is coming. Yeah. Telsa has it out, doing some test runs, and CertainTeed's got some products coming. But 2 or 3, 4 years down the road, there's going to be solar roof panels that come that look like the whole roof is a solar panel.
Wow.
And it's, it's pretty exciting stuff. It's going to be, like anything when it first comes out, be a little pricey and kind of run the thing. But the reviews we're seeing and the information we're getting, we actually have trying to work with Telsa on trying to get some stuff over here to look at.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
That is, and you look
be
at
something
it,
new.
Yeah, and it's something that concerns us. Again, we're not a political show, but you talk about the potential opportunity for global warming.
Yeah.
You think about global warming. And
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, the way that it's framed in our country is there's 300 million people. You're either on this side or that side, and one side believes in it, one side does not. But there's a lot of carbon being put out by vehicles, and then so the impact of potentially having these roof shingles that could fuel your home, I mean, that's going to be a mega huge difference in what we're putting out.
Yeah, I mean, whether you believe in global warming or not, either way, I mean, if you can take the cost of your power and save that and put it into your house, and then you get the benefit of the power all the time. In Florida, right now, you can't sell back to the grid, but in other states you can, but that'll surely change when this comes about, and it'll be actually somewhat profitable for homeowners to have that on the roof.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that's another uphill battle. It looks like as far as getting the ability to be on your own. We'll talk more about that when we come back. But we're also going to jump into the top 10 ways to improve the value of your home, and more from our expert contributors here in studio, helping you win in any marketplace, giving you that helicopter view of the market here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a big shout out to Felicia Lacaille. She's the owner of Healthy Gourmet, meal plans starting at $90. Optimal fuel, optimal performance, organic veggies, all natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times a week. And I love getting my food deliveries from Healthy Gourmet, Felicia Lacaille, and awesome food delivered every week. And what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? You got to eat healthy and maintain the high energy levels that you need to operate your business in this fast-paced economy that we have. All right, we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida here. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. In studio today, Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Melissa Allen, Cobblestone Court Incorporated, as well as Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing. And currently we're talking with Chuck Peterson. So, Chuck, let's talk a little bit about 4-point inspections and replacement of a roof versus a complete replacement versus just a repair.
Okay. A lot of people get those 4-point inspections for their insurance. They get a reduction based on, what the report says, but they also, those inspections find a lot of times you have to have that roof repaired. If it's just a small repair, it makes sense to do that. But in the state of Florida, if your roof's past 10 years old, the insurance company, when it hits 15, is going to require you to get that roof replaced. They're going to send you a letter and say, your roof's 15 years old, the shingles aren't what they are now, and that roof is going to be required to be replaced or they'll drop your insurance. So if we're looking at houses and they're over 10 years old and they're doing repairs, we really try to talk to them about replacing that roof and not spending that money, getting the better value for your dollar by putting that money towards your roof, not your repair. And that's what those inspections do. And then when we put the roof on, we actually have them redo that inspection because we put a product called peel and stick down on the roof deck, which gives them the insurance discount. For everybody that we do a roof for, they can have that inspection done, and the discount will take effect almost automatic. We re-nail the deck off to code. A lot of things get done when we redo the roof.
The underlayment?
Yeah, the underlayment gets done. The deck nails get done that actually help the homeowner out on their insurance side as well.
Yeah.
In that category.
And that can be some tremendous savings.
Oh, absolutely.
With
Yeah,
4 points.
we've seen $100 a month sometimes.
And with those 4 points too, often a hurricane strapping is one of the things I'm checking for. Well, it's only when you're replacing the roof can you really get to those straps, because you can pull up some of the wood and work from above.
Correct.
You can't fit anybody down into that little crevice in the corner of the attic, crawling through dirty insulation and
Correct.
pest droppings to try and install those properly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we were just, as a matter of fact, right before we started the show, I had one of our sales guys on, and he's at the house at St. Pete Beach, and they're wanting to know how do we get that strapping done, because they had the inspection done, no straps at all. It was an older house, of course.
Wow.
And so we're going to cut the edges off and strap the house, and they had already checked with their insurance folks, and they were getting a $80 to $90 a month reduction just on the strapping itself, not counting the peel and stick that'll go on as the underlayment.
Wow.
So they'll get $100+ a month savings.
As we're nearing hurricane season,
Absolutely.
That's something I was actually at one of the home shows 10 years ago. They actually set me up to be the hurricane expert of the show and talk to people about the impacts of roofing and windows and how your home gets affected by the hurricane. Yeah. And most often it's that the roof has lifted off. It's the uplift, and when that happens, then everything else implodes from there.
Right, and that's why the codes have changed. That's why our shingles are better than most people that have, and the system that we have to use to put the roof on has to meet 136 mile an hour wind rating. Now that only meets for 2 or 3 minutes. So, 150 mile an hour blow from the hurricane doesn't necessarily make it not good. But I will say, since we did a hurricane on the East Coast where we have 2 offices, all the roofs we put on in the last 5 years, we had only just some ridge cap shingles come off. Everything else held, but all the old roofs, they're blowing apart.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And hurricane season's coming this side. I mean, it's
coming again.
We're due.
Here we go. Yeah, that's right. All right, let's have some fun here. Let's see if we can go around the horn here and guess a little bit of the top 10 ways to improve the value of your home. Jason,
tell me it's kitchen remodeling, Brandon. Tell me it's kitchen remodeling.
It's something that's right up there. Well, let's see if this one fits here. It's knock out a non-structural wall or even remove that kitchen island. Anything that opens up space and creates a sense of flow in the house is generating a response. So create space.
Actually, that's very true. You've heard me talk about that on this show multiple times, especially waterfront properties. If you walk in the front door and you can't see the water, there's probably a wall we want to remove to open up that view and capture that money shot.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, prune limb and landscape. So tangled trees, unkept bushes. So some of the kind of a curb appeal type things they're talking about. I don't know how much that one's actually applicable. This by thisoldhouse.com is the source there. Number 3, let the light in. So talk about everything from opening it up, installing dimmer switches, sun tubes noticeably enhance a home's appeal. And
do you guys also do solar tubes and skylighting when you're doing the roofing?
We actually we install them. The skylights we have ourselves. We actually have a manufacturer at our corporate office in Port Orange that manufactures the skylights. The solar tubes we purchase exterior and then put them in. Yeah. That is a lot of light.
Yeah, those solar tubes are amazing because they actually amplify and reflect the light within inside the tube.
Yep. So we install all those. Sure do.
And Melissa alluded to this one earlier in the show. I believe it says home begins at the front door, and you've got a quote here. It talks about underestimating the front door. When they walk up, it's the first thing they see. Talk about a working doorbell and different types of overhangs or awnings, and so that's what you mentioned earlier, I believe.
Definitely, the front door is the first impression they have of your home.
Yep.
So you can't have a
sorry-looking front door.
She's got some amazing door handles down there that are all like handcrafted, and they look like, I want to say little naked people, but they're really cool.
Now.
They're wrought iron and neat.
The man handles.
Kind of show we running here.
Jason, you'll like this one. Number 8, easy bath upgrades.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people like to get rid of the old soaking garden tub and just turn it into a big blown-out walk-in shower for 2. That's very popular these days.
When we sell tubs, we ask them, "Are you going to use it, or is this for show?" Because a lot of people don't take tubs.
And to that point also, it says some grades are cheap, easy, and fast, especially the bathroom. It says replace frosted glass for clear glass, clean grout, remove stains, freshen. Add that. Going neutral colors, neutral wall colors. That's on the list here. Remove the question marks from your home as well. So
we're not seeing in toilets, especially. You're only seeing white, black, biscuit. You're not seeing any of those raspberry puree and Harvest Moon. None of those anymore.
Yeah. The mauve. My mom used to. I remember one of ours was mauve and gray.
Green.
She loved that mauve and gray at one point.
Different on the roofing shingles though, because colors more in on roofing shingles than not.
I like that
four blend colors. Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. All right, quick round, top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Jason Avery, you're up first.
Well, since we just brought up waterfront properties, that's the big thing that a lot of people miss on. They're buying a house, it's on the waterfront, and in their mind, they're just going to gut the thing to start over, and, well, FEMA gets in our way, and there are big regulations called the 50-50 rule where you're not allowed to improve more than 50% of the value of your structure. Well, let me tell you, all the value of what you paid for was in that waterfront land. It was not in the structure. It might only be a $150,000 structure, and you may be very much limited on how you can proceed with the remodel. You might have to do it in phases, every other year. So if you're buying waterfront, talk to an expert ahead of time before you get caught in a trap where you cannot spend what you want to spend to put the home back together.
Excellent. Melissa Allen, Cobblestone Court, parting words of advice.
I guess my tip is if you're going to look at cabinet hardware for your kitchen, you have to think of the functionality of it. How often do you cook? A lot of people like the look of the pulls with an overhang, but those are pocket grabbers. If you've ever got your pocket caught on those things. Yep. So a lot of the pulls that we sell in kitchens have a closed end, so it's nice and convenient. I also don't like to sell cup pulls in kitchens because you got to imagine your hands full of meat juice or flour, and you reach underneath there. How often do you actually clean underneath there?
Right.
So
that's a good point.
Functionality in a kitchen for hardware is number one with me.
Functionality, I like that. Excellent. Chuck Peterson.
I'd say the biggest tip really if on the roofing side is to make sure that you're dealing with somebody who is very reputable. I mean, that roof is going to look good no matter who puts it on the first day, but when anything has to go wrong or can go wrong and will go wrong, as we know in the state of Florida, is there going to be somebody there to back that up and take care of you as a consumer?
Yeah.
And that's that's hugely important.
Yeah, that's right. Making sure that licensed, bonded, insured,
all that warranty too.
Well, as you said, people don't even realize the importance of that too, because I've seen roofing crews that come out, and then there's men up there on that roof that are not covered under work comp because they're not running the right payroll process. And if somebody falls off a roof and breaks their neck, and there's no work comp to cover them, they're going to go after the contractor's general liability. But once that hits its limit for somebody who's now paralyzed, they're coming after you personally and your homeowner's insurance. So use a reputable roofer that you know has got the right credentials, the right license, the right insurance.
Absolutely. Yep. And the final tip for me is the power of focus. What you focus on a daily basis is going to expand, control your focus. Where your focus goes, your energy flows, your resources go, and it's so important to make sure you do that. Thanks so much. Another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors here in studio. I want to thank our listeners out there, viewers of our TV show on WeBeam TV, and all of our expert contributors. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as maybe packing up leftover food you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person on the side of the road that you see that is in need, and be a force for good. Go out there and volunteer and do something kind for someone else today. And we really appreciate you listening to the show, helping you win in any marketplace. Our hotline number, 670-7372. Anything you heard today's show, 670-7372, and consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.